Oh, welcome in. I decided to, instead of the usual starting music, we'd blast off with the Yowie anthem of all time. Alright. Welcome in, Karika. Heck yeah, carry time, always. If you're not running, I'm getting closer. And you don't want me nearby. Bad things start happening. And thank you, Oxy, for farting today. Always gotta get that shit out. So, Yowie National Anthem, for real. For those who aren't in the know, this is the ending song for a one of the BL movies for. God, I forgot about it. I used to read it all the time. It's that Yakuza BL where the dude gets out of jail and is hired by the promiscuous mafia boss dude, but like he can't get hard because of trauma, so they have like that deal where it's like you can be around me, but I don't fuck with people who fall in love with me, sort of shit. And yeah, that was the ending song to that, and it's so good. And the actual music video is gay too. It's not like they just, because you know how sometimes they do that, like they will make a song whether in Western or Eastern media, Southern media, whatever. They'll have a song that's like the what's it called? Part of LGBT media, um, but the music video won't have the same energy. So it's exciting that it's quite literally like a ode almost to the movie that it's a part of. Sorry for the flashbang, but I didn't finish filling out the color for this part because I what's it called? I like to have like a bright neon color underneath when I'm coloring. I don't always do it because I forget and get lazy, but when I'm actually putting my whole pussy into the drawing, I like to go the extra mile because this helps me keep track of I had to look up the English of the manga. It's Twittering Birds Never Fly. Yeah, I know it had something to do with the sky, but I didn't want to say something with clouds because I know that Laughing in the Clouds or whatever is that one anime with the three brothers. Uh, that's pretty gay, but isn't officially gay. It's like Delulu headcanon gay. But that's also good. The manga is better, especially art wise. I feel like they kind of cheaped out with the anime because I feel like they didn't even fully adapt it. The anime of because there's like two arcs. I haven't fully read or consumed either, but I was a part of an RP group in Stop, you're so right. I was a part of an RP group in 2017 to about 2019, maybe 2018. No, definitely like 2019 or something. And the one of the big RP groups because there's a multi fandom RP on Discord where uh a whole bunch of people would characters from different universes would show up and they'd like role play together because they were part of a shared scenario or whatever. But anyway, I don't want to get too detailed into it because I don't want to anyone to make too many connections to the group that not because there's anything bad with the group. They made like 3 movies. It was so out of whack keeping track. I thought they only made 1 movie. Okay, thank you for bringing me back onto that topic. I was getting too lost in the woods trying to do disclaimers. Anyways, I was part of an RP group where I learned a lot about the lore because they adapted characters. Confess your RP lore. I RP'd on DeviantArt and Discord, and I never RP'd on Tumblr because I didn't like forum. Well, technically, not Discord. DeviantArt was forum RP, I guess, because the replies were kind of forum based. But if you were to call it, but like when you talk about forum RP, you mainly refer to like Tumblr and stuff, where you do actual like formatting and coding in your replies to better suit the character, whether it's font or reaction images or whatever. I could never get into that, even though I had a blast doing HTML to decorate my DeviantArt page, which apparently they don't support that anymore. So, God, God, who knows what my fucking old formatted art, not art, RP accounts look like. God. Well, anyway, so WarriorCatsRPG.com was the place for me with an anime section only at DRP days. I don't think they still have it, but back when DeviantArt had a chat room, we would all schedule in our we would post journals and be like, hey, planning like an RP chat room at so and so. Here's the premise or whatever, and we'd all show up in RP. And I was mainly a Hetalia RPer, even though I had other fandoms I was into. I was like, I was a 20 account Romano RPer. Uh, sorry to disillusion anyone. I was deep into Hetalia in the day. Um, and the fact that it's coming back on TikTok is scary. Roman Romano. Um, so yeah, back to the Laughing in the Clouds or whatever. There's two series. There's like the original series Laughing in the Clouds, which the manga I believe is finished and settled. They did one season of an anime, and then apparently I'm learning today they did 3 movies. Which, did they finish the story with the 3 movies? I don't even know. They might have. But there's another story that's a prequel to it that it was ongoing in 2018, 2019. I don't know if it still is because I haven't kept up with it, like I said. But there's a prequel series also, and they didn't even try adapting that to anime. It's about 2 twins. One was like the background of just the white-haired baby girl, like a flashback sort of thing. I always feel bad for like comic artists or mangakas that get shitty anime adaptations because, however, I can't claim to know how the Japanese animation industry works when it comes to offering anime adaptations, but I can only imagine that it's super hard and mangakas take the first, if not the second, opportunity they get. Yeah, that was the twins, I think. Yeah, the twins, which are their ancestors of the 3 brothers. And so I'm just assuming she took the first deal she could get, or that was the best deal she was offered. And it's so hard afterwards to get a reboot, which I know they're doing a lot now, but those are for like really old anime. Like early 2000s to 90s anime. And as far as I know with Japanese copyright, it's super tough. So I can only imagine that the original studio probably still has rights to the anime adaptation. So getting it done by a different studio will probably be super, super hard, I bet. Again, take my words with a grain of salt. I'm don't know too much, but based on what I've seen being into anime for over a decade, which is cringe to admit, they seem the author seems shit out of luck, which sucks because there's so many good stories that have just, because of corporate greed, because I feel like the anime industry is a lot more tied to the corporate greed than manga because you can self-publish, but self-animating's nearly impossible. Um, unless you do it yourself, which you cannot do as a mangaka in Japan with an ongoing series. Um, but yeah, self-publishing is a lot easier. So even if you get rejected, you haven't the on sort of online to go to unless your former publisher bought out the rights and you can't continue it, you know? Um, but yeah, there's different ways in manga that you can still persist without a studio, but when it comes to anime, that shit's like almost a different beast even though they're so tied together. Okay, a lot of people say their least favorite thing to draw is the hair. It's so 50-50 because the Studio Corp stuff is a mess. Looking at you, Blue Exorcist. Yeah, Blue Exorcist is a prime example because they had such a good first two seasons, in the late 2000s, and then middle 2010s they suddenly come back, uh, and it's mid. It's pretty mid. Um, I don't know. I haven't kept up with any of the anime since that first initial new season. Um, I know they're still doing stuff, I think, even this year, if not last year. Um, but hashtag not my Blue Exorcist. I need to figure out how to up the UI because when I'm zooming and trying to go around, because I use this for more precise tracking. But let me see if I could just. I can't make this specific part. I don't know if you can see my mouse that well because it's tiny, but you can typically drag your widgets to extend them, but I can only drag this outwards. I can't drag this part downwards, this specific part. I'd have to like drag this downwards and then this. Oh, I guess that works, kind of. That helps a bit more. Me about to complain. Then I figure it out. Okay, where is it? Where's there? Move down more. Okay, that makes it bigger. And then precise movement should be a bit easier. I still need to figure out how to increase the overall UI because even with glasses on, and I'm not farsighted. Like I have glasses for looking far away, not up close. But even with glasses, it's blurry. The layers and stuff. Not that I ever label them, even though I should. But I still like knowing how many I'm at. But yeah, people say that often say that hair is like their least favorite part to draw, but I don't know if you can tell with this drawing, but I had fun as fuck with this hair. Look at it. I drew Sue so many lines. I drew so many lines. So many curls and loops and floof. Let's just do all of this and then we'll clean it up instead of doing it precise. What I need is a desk with a pull-out tray for my keyboard, but purely for when I do art so that I can like control Z with my keyboard and learn like the keyboard shortcuts for turning and stuff. Cuz right now I can't really put my keyboard in front of me without like putting my full titties on it while drawing, and that's just not practical. That wouldn't help me at all. All the buttons would be pressed. Um it's just out of reach now. I feel like I should adapt how some people have second tab with the canvas that gives you full view, and your hairline works so. And your hairline works so sexy, King. I love the shapes. Thank you. Yeah, shapes are so fun. I just do whoop 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 whoop. Yeah, I think doing doing that, they just take the navigator. Let me actually take my mouse. I think you can pop out the navigator somehow. Right here. Um. Maybe it's under window, workspace. No. You got this. We can solve this mystery for real. Duck. I should utilize the palette dock now that I have a bigger screen space. I never used it on my my laptop because the screen was real tiny. Like when it came to the actual drawing screen space, even with my layers sort of like this size, my screen was kind of small, so I'd only have like this much drawing space that just pretend that's filled in. Um, so just it wouldn't be worth it because it would just take up too much space, which is which is also why I almost never until I got like the tablet for my desktop, I would never have the second window on this side with references or whatever. What the fuck is are these? Sub view? I think that's yeah, this is where we pop out and put references. For I've used this part before. So, for example, oh, you can't see my that's actually good that you can't see my files when I open that up. Okay, so let's go to pictures, refs, and then let's just pop out Unicat because that's who we're drawing. See, and then you put the refs up here, and you can color pick from this. So you zoom in and color pick, and then they even got little bars that I can barely see. But yeah, this is specifically like for color picking references and viewing references. I think you can also pop this out like you can with this. I don't know what this is though. Item bank. It might just be for a list of your 3D objects, but I don't know. These two are as far as my knowledge goes. But it's a good thing I loaded that in there actually. I'll need these for like color picking because the color palette I'm going to use will depend heavily on the original because this is just come on, I'm clicking you. There we go. You got it, buddy. Got it, buddy. And then we'll just leave it like that. Wow, right? So if I could like pop this out and then have it sort of in this area almost. Not that big, but in that area, it would help me out so much. But let's pop out the palette first. Palette dock. Where is it? Play tool as pop up. Where the fuck is it? Hand it over! Tool as tab. Oh, what did I just press? Hold on. Always show tab and canvas. Why did it make my thing go out of full screen? Oh, please go back to full screen. There we go. It like made it so you know when it sometimes any window will kind of bug out and not will show the like not full screen button, but it's only a fraction out of full screen. It's like 1 pixel off. Hate when that happens. Maybe that's a unique experience to me, but God, that frustrates me. Like, just you getting sidetracked like it's my job. Getting you sidetracked like it's my job. No, for real. Listen, getting sidetracked. I don't need you to do that for me. I would do it anyway. But listen, this would, even though like this isn't when I plan to do it, this is the best time for me to figure this out because when I'm on my lonesome and I'm like, I'll figure this out, I don't. I get off stream and I'm like, okay, guys, I'll figure this out off stream, and then I'm like, I'll figure it out tomorrow. I just got done streaming, and then I don't. So actually, this is the best time. Let me go up to my other monitor, and Google how to increase UI size clip studio. Well, this person's asking how to make it smaller, but it's still the same. From 2 years ago, so it might not be. This is on Windows 10. Go to File. Okay. Preferences. Interface. Adjust interface for touch operations can be toggled on and off. Large. Okay. What? That made it slightly bigger, maybe? I can't tell, actually. No, I don't think so. Do I have to restart clip, maybe? Can't have us judge you. That, that and, I have some work in progress art. I can't. I haven't signed an NDA, and it's not anything I'm being paid for, but it's like fan project work that either hasn't been announced or is still being worked on and hasn't been posted, so I can't show it. So that'd be bad to leak. Though I'm pretty sure other people have like streamed theirs. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't expect anyone I'm drawing to pop in, but I don't know. What if someone takes a screenshot because of just like maybe something I'm doing over here while I got my files up and it accidentally shows it, you know? I'm just a silly paranoid little boy. Just in case I get you. Yeah, just in case. I'm sure it'd be no big deal, but just in case, you know. I think it increased slightly, but I don't think it increased too much. Like I don't think the font increased. Let me keep looking. Well, actually, let me save and restart in the not my computer, but the clip program. Maybe that. Open up. What the fuck? Hold on, you go. That's not what I thought it would look like. Jesus. Jesus. I think this is a bit too big. And it didn't increase the font at all. Default. Okay. Why is it still large as fuck? Okay, file. Okay. What if I close? No canvas all tools for real. Alright, we're back to us. And the size looks fine on my other monitor. I just want to know how to increase it just a bit. Just a bit, guys. Maybe I can fiddle around with it actually. If I go and then do small actually. Let's try that. That looks a bit more reasonable. I think it looks the same. And then it reset what I did here. So that's okay. Let's just live with this. We'll just survive, I guess. We tried. Go. And then I think, oh no, it stayed. Why is it on her ass now though? Bald. Okay, go here. We'll survive, I suppose. Maybe I can look up how to change font size. How to change instead of UI size? Change. Who redeemed what? Redeemed to save? I can't save it. I just opened the canvas. Hold on, let me draw something. Okay, and then I save. I don't like how they're spaced. Well, no, maybe them being spaced like this is better. Because I would accidentally click things. That's... Okay, so it's under interfacing. I'd have to change the overall font size for my computer. That's too much. Kaizon, welcome in. Thank you for the hydrate stretch and the nice. And thank you for the daily fart. I still haven't figured out how to fix that. I actually have the Mix It Up encyclopedia right here. Okay, let me take that sip. And then an extra stretch just in case. Okay. Per stream check-in item. Oh, I see. So instead of hmm. Okay, okay. So let me actually fix that real quick while I have that up. We're doing a whole bunch of chores real quick. Okay, so where is it under? You go to currency rank That's the wrong. Rank inventory. Edit. Hmm. Command. I already have this though, but I don't see the command for. Huh. So I already went through these steps, right? It says I have to go to commands and create a custom command in order for it to show a message in chat. But clearly I've already done that since it shows a message in chat. So I'm confused that if I put it in, I'll do 2 messages in chat. Let's just take it from the top again. Okay. Within Mix It Up box, go to the Currency Rank Inventory tab. Did that. Click Add Inventory. I have that. Name your inventory. I've named it Check-In. Since it's a daily check-in. Set the maximum amount to a high value. It's 99999999. I added a bunch of nines in my head to that, but it's about 99,999. Under the item list area, type in the name of your daily per stream item that is added to the inventory. Okay. Named it. Once you have everything added to your inventory, it should look something similar to this, and it does look something similar to. How the fuck did they get dark mode? I'm over here struggling on light mode. You know what? Let me just share my screen so it doesn't. You guys aren't lost and just staring at nothing. Add. No, cancel. Sources. Bow, 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 bow. Looks like they updated this a bit. Things are the sources on Streamlabs. They added a bit more categories, so they're split up a bit more than they used to. Window capture, add source, add a new source instead, add source, window, mix it up encyclopedia. Done. So I'm not going to show up my actual mix it up because that would require me just sharing my whole screen and not a specific window. But this is what I'm looking at, so you guys aren't lost. Okay, so you have added to your inventory, should look something like this. Click save and head over to Twitch channel points tab. Yep, add to existing reward. Did that. You guys get to see my creator dashboard. Twitch channel points. Why is this so fucking big? Hello? Why are you at 150%? My goodness. View rewards. I think that's channel points. That's customizing display. Yep, there's the daily fart right there. Click and then Twitch channel point tab on Mix It Up. So as you can see, the rewards right there. Command edit. Come on, Mix It Up. Is that all? Yeah, it only has 2 tabs. This channel point tab. Actions, edit. I don't think that's what it wanted. Okay. Okay, add command to existing. Yeah. Have that. Channel point redemption associated with redeeming the per stream item can have mixed. But a simple setup is so you can have. I have ADHD and will read something, but my brain won't process it. Hold on. You can then have Mix It Up bot respond with any actions you would like, but a simple setup is first action. Okay, I add an action. What? Okay, add action. First action. Consumable. Currency rank. I think I do that. Select the inventory you made as consumable. Action add to user. And then the amount is 1. Okay. I have that. Save. Valid consumable must be. Okay. Item name. Daily fart. Daily fart. Save. Yeah, this one is the one without. Let me delete this one without any of the actions. Let me edit this one that has. And amount 1, chat message. Okay, and then the amount is 1. Second action chat message. You can refer to the user redeeming the channel point with username. Aww. You can, second action is a chat message. So I have the chat message set up. I have it send as streamer, so it would send as me. Can refer to the user. Okay, so I have hell yeah username for farting today. And refer to how many of the specific item being redeemed a user has through the special tab. Identifier found in the identifiers reference. What? Hold on, I'll read that after finishing what I was reading. I just read special identifiers and looked on that for Mix It Up because I didn't know what a special identifier was. Saw it and just clicked it immediately. found in the current story. For example, okay, so they're using that because it's called Max Pet inventory name. Okay, so it's inventory name. I have to go to user check-in. Check-in is the identifier. I think so. I have it. Oh, I have it set up similar to how this is set up. So it has user, right? And then they have their inventory name as Twitch gear, and I have mine as check in. So I have it user check in. They have Twitch user Twitch gear. So I have user check in. And then the item name they have is Max Pets, and my item name is Daily Fart. So I have user check in Daily Fart. So you can have. I think that's how it should be. I'm gonna. I don't think I can do that at my end, but I'm gonna give it a shot. Yeah, okay, we did it. Guys, we did it. It's been fixed. Okay, it counts it now. Alright, fuck this shit now. Close that. Close. And we'll just minimize, mix it up. And now no more looking at this. Delete. Okay. Hell yeah. Back to art after. I think this will have to do. At least with the icon spacing up top, because I would often click this instead of any of the undo or redo buttons. So, the only way to get this bigger is to increase my overall UI for Windows. I think for the font. I don't think there's any specific way to get one. What's it called? One monitor specifically to have font one way. And if I increase the font anymore, my main monitor will be too fucking large to handle. It'd be like me, ma, grandpa, granny font size, you know? Because when I bring this window, before I did any of the changes onto my main monitor, it was like perfect size almost. But when it was on my monitor for the restart, because every time I had to restart it, it would pop up on the other monitor. It was so much bigger than what it looked like on stream. Like, so everyone was like, whoa, when you saw it on stream earlier with how big it is. Now imagine that like 3 times bigger, and that's how big it was on my other, what's it called? My other monitor. Even though like if I were to put one screen up to the other, my tablet screen is smaller, but when it comes to how it's registered, like when I look on the settings, my monitor settings, the second monitor always looks so much bigger than the first one. So I think my computer thinks it's a much larger monitor than it is. But also it could just be higher definition monitor, and my other monitor that's my main monitor is just I don't know, lower definition, I guess, if that makes sense. So there's less pixels, making it seem smaller. I don't know how it works. But I do know for a fact that my main monitor, just in terms of visual quality and stuff, is of lesser quality than this monitor. Because not only is this, well, it's not even a monitor, it's a tablet monitor thing. Um, but the fuck was I saying? I literally forgot. The thoughts are out of my head. I like how I spent a whole bunch of time with UI and mixed up shenanigans when, like, what's it called? I only plan to do like a 3 hour stream because my mom wanted to go to Daiso, and she asked last night at like 10 p.m. Um, I was like, I have a stream tomorrow, and I was planning to do like a longer art stream, but I also feel like I need to get out of this house because I haven't physically left the house since like New Year's, I think, other than to get like a package at the front door. So I was like, I'll just do a shorter stream and take the chance to go to Daiso, which I'm excited for because we first encountered Daiso in South Korea, and while it's not the same, we just fell in love with Daiso there. I know that it was like cheap in general. I feel like even for the general standards, because I think it's like an equivalent to a dollar store maybe. But I literally heard about it. I heard about it existing the first night we were in Korea. Because I was watching a Miori Celeste stream because she's South Korean, even though she mainly streams in English. Um, and she was like, "Yeah, I just got this stuffed animal from Daiso." Uh, and it was only like so and so won, which is like $3 USD, and it was a really good quality plushie. So I'm like, we need to go to Daiso if those are the prices, because I want that plushie. The Daiso I went to didn't have that plushie, but I did get a plushie. Um, but the prices were insane. Like, they're cheap in general because like a bottle of water was like 1,000 won, which is 80, was about 88 cents USD. So there's 88 cents water bottles. Meanwhile, it's like two for $3 deals at the gas station and stuff. Um, like the same 7-Eleven in Korea was had 88-cent water bottles. Well, I guess they're no. Is the I know the 7-Eleven for America is owned by Japan, but I don't know if the Korean 7-Eleven is, because I know the Pepsi Cola company is owned by different people depending on the continent or country, really. Because, like, Coca Cola in America, excuse me? Not me getting ahead of myself. Coca Cola and Pepsi in America, there we go, are separate companies. There's like PepsiCo and then Coke. But I think uh I might be wrong on the specific area, but I think in the EU, PepsiCo, either Coke owns both Pepsi and Coke, or Pepsi owns both Coke and Pepsi, something like that. Uh so And I learned this specifically because when it comes to the BDS boycotts, they added Coke to it. Which, not to get political, but we should take the BDS boycott seriously, because BDS and their boycotts had a huge, huge influence in ending apartheid in South Africa. So whenever you see New Age people who don't know this, the newer, I say newer generation, but it's really my generation and younger who didn't grow up with that like history. Um and we weren't taught about it in America. I at least I know for a fact I wasn't taught about it. Like, we weren't even taught about the apartheid in South Africa. Like, we were just taught that it existed. I learned about this apartheid in South Africa well after graduating high school, like that it was a thing. Um because they just don't teach you this shit, even though, like, I'm pretty sure America had a strong hand to play in it, whether it was helping it to come into being or the BDS boycotts. Because I know BDS, I don't know if it's American or if it's just Western in general, but those boycotts helped a lot in defunding the companies that were helping to fund the war efforts, whether feeding soldiers or donation, or like how some will just donate and such, like we're seeing with Israel. So whenever you see people being like, it what's boycotts aren't going to do anything, they're only thinking about like the random culture war boycotts that have happened recently and are completely ignoring the organization that are asking us to boycott, which is an organized effort. So it just disheartens me when people like to dismiss the boycott criticisms and such, because we all have a part to play. Like, our taxes are going to it all anyway. So instead of giving more money, instead of having the viewpoint like, oh, my taxes are going to it anyway, so who cares? I'm gonna spend money. It should be, well, my taxes are going to it anyway. Let me spend less, so not even so less money goes to it. You know. But yeah, um, I just believe strongly in that sort of stuff, and when people try and make the community seem like it's not only unwelcome to that sort of talk because it's quote unquote an escape, big parentheses, is an escape, um they're outright hostile to it. You can't bring up world events really. Oh, I need to without you being accused of trying to start shit. Like, I hate to break it to some people, but the VTuber community is an escape for everyone. Some people have to deal with the real life politics they deal with outside every day in VTubing anyway because of the bigots we let run rampant. They come to try and have an escape of their everyday life, and instead of a funny cat girl to relax to, we have an art thief who makes George Floyd jokes. And if you try and bring it up, you're looking for drama. You're trying to start shit, and you're not letting people grow or whatever. But how can you grow when you were never held accountable in the first place, you know? It's just a bunch of silly hoops. Oh, I don't, that's not where I want it. There we go. trying to line on the neon green layer. That wouldn't help me because that'll be hidden at the end of the artwork. But yeah, I really got into this fan art. I decided to put in more detail into it than anything before. Like, I don't know. I just really tried to hone in on Cuny's likes and incorporate it into a Gyaru design because I really like Gyaru, and it's kind of had a renaissance online of like more people getting into Gyaru, especially on like TikTok and Twitter. But almost none of it's correct, especially in the VTuber sphere. I also people be like, "Oh, Gyaru fan design or whatever," and all they did was add leopard print. Leopard print doesn't make something inherently Gyaru. They kind of lose like the spirit of it, I feel. And so in protest, well, not in protest because people can draw what they want and it's not that serious. And because it's not that serious, I'm being the change I want to see, you know, and making it myself instead of being like solely online, being like, "Boo, you guys don't know what Gyaru is." I'm like, "Boo, you guys don't know what Gyaru is. I'm gonna draw it." And show y'all what it's really takes. And I know that while I joke saying leopard print doesn't equal Gyaru, Gyaru does use a lot of leopard print. However, I'm gonna, just because I'm so sick and tired of seeing it on every design, I'm trying to specifically not use Gyaru, not Gyaru, leopard print when in the coloring phase. So for when it comes, I keep forgetting what layer I'm on. When it comes to the gaps in the hair, I only plan for sort of like the outer parts, like the outer parts of the hair on the fringes, like here. Why am I trying to circle with the wrong tool to circle is? I always do that shit. So areas like here, here, and down here, maybe even here, and probably right there. No, not even right there. No, these two, this one, these, this, and this will all be sort of open like that, but the rest will be filled in with a darker color to imply more volume with hair. Because if I emptied every sort of nook and cranny where it looks like the hair would be open, like here, 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 here. You know, it just would not look good. There would be too many gaps in the hair, and it would look like insanity. Hair wouldn't fall like that. So this will be sort of darker to imply more layers and depth into the hair. Um, Here there'll be even less so. I feel openings like here, here, and maybe right here. Um, yeah, cause like if I, let's say I did this part right here. Oop, that was the wrong thing to do. I empty, put negative space right there. It looks bad. It looks like she has hair sticking out at an angle. It looks like she has wire that was put into her hair and formed in a specific way to fall like that because the hair would otherwise fall down and would otherwise fall down like this piece right here. But since I'm implying volume, if this part is darkened, it implies it's a sitting. These two pieces that it's sitting on top of are also sitting on top of things. So if I left this hollow, it would feel like these two things in the back aren't sitting on anything, and this is just hanging out. But if these two are also sitting on something, then it would make sense for that to, not fill in the space. Because she's wired up. You got it. You got me. I will say, when I was fiddling with Mix It Up Bot earlier, I'm not too much of a fan of having it up and open. I open it just in case it needs to be running in order for the commands to work. I don't know if I need the window up or not, or if it'll just do all the commands on its own, but I always open it up before stream, and I try to keep it minimized when I can, because what I don't like about it is it'll list the viewers who are watching even if they hadn't commented or anything, and I don't really like that, because I don't want to keep tabs on like who's watching, that's not only is that not good for the mental health of a streamer, being like, oh, only these people are like in here all the time, or this person showed up just to say hi and leave. Not that I've witnessed that, but just examples of things that a streamer would see that would make them feel bad. Not always. I know some people appreciate people that would jump in and say hi. I do. Someone just jumping in to say hi is always nice to see. But stuff like that, I don't know. I'm just not a fan of that specifically, because I don't know. I don't want to know when people come and go unless they feel like sharing with me. Because for all I know, some random person might have found me on the art tab and popped in, and then didn't want to say anything or be noticed, and I've got their fucking name up on Mix It Up. And if I were a different type of streamer, I'd be like, "Oh, welcome in, so and so. I see your name up and Mix It Up. How you doing?" Like, I don't know. So I've noticed that this piece of hair goes under like this, but I didn't draw a line. So if I were to do that, this piece empty, not empty, make negative space here, this piece of hair would look like it would disappear. So I'm not actually gonna do that. So I'm thinking about making a hole here, but I don't think so. I don't think that looks good. Fellas might not want to be perceived, yeah. Because it's the same with me. I've hopped into people's streams, and it's not necessarily that I didn't like them or the vibes were off. It's just like, oh, this is not content I want to consume at the moment. No hate to the streamer. I thought I was thirsting for something, but I wasn't. Oh, B to we, BT, B to we, BTW. I think your music's crunching a bit. Okay, let me fix that real quick. P, B did B. Sources. BD wee. The highlighted message. BD wee. I don't think window. See, whenever I do this, I always forget which source it is, which type of source, because there are different media widgets, like game capture, video capture, media file, which is what I use for my usual opening song. I just have a file I uploaded from Dova Syndrome. That just plays on loop. But when it comes to music, I have I think it's application audio. New source. Name it. Music. Source. And I have to take off stream track 2. So it won't record on the VOD, so I don't get, what's it called, copyright snatched. Okay, I think that's set up like that. Let me lower it a bit so it doesn't blast your ears off, and let me know how it is. If the crunch has decrunched. Well, the song is over. Alright. Let's try the next. Damn, this is a 6-minute song, goddamn. Dang. They don't make songs like they used to. Like, they used to make long songs, remember? Especially in the 90s, early 2000s. Rap in particular, they used to have long ass songs where they would just tell a story. Up to like 5 to 7 minutes, sometimes even 8 minutes long. But now it's just I say it's just. I still like shorter songs. But I say just because that's more typical now for it to be shorter songs. You hardly see a song over even 5 minutes. Fuck it. Even 4.5 minutes, it's hard to find a song over 4.5 minutes. And sometimes I feel like songs are a bit too short because I feel like, damn, I could have listened to this for another 2 or 3 minutes. And so I'll just put it on loop and listen to it for 5 hours. Like, I was listening to that Yowie anthem I had for the intro, Starting Soon song on loop before starting. I think what I'm gonna do though is my next psych appointment. I say this to myself, not like out loud or to anyone else, but I say this to myself every time. But my next psych appointment, I gotta ask for ADHD medication because I try it, and I feel like it works how it's supposed to for me. It's worked differently for each person. Especially depending on how your ADHD presents. There's this like myth that like if you have ADHD, shit like Ritalin will just calm you down or whatever. My ADHD makes me very low energy. It makes me hard to focus. Me hard to focus. You can't focus on me, bitch. You can't see me. It makes it hard to for me to focus. But the few meds I did try, I did lock in, but they made me a bit hyper, which is why I was saying that it depends on what your ADHD and how it presents. Because there's that meme being like, oh, I was at a party and they were like doing Ritalin or whatever, and I didn't realize or whatever, and I have ADHD and it just low opacity. Can I do that? Uh, no, I don't think I can. I don't think I can make myself. Can I do it in Viato Tube specifically? I don't think so. Program display settings. Background transparent. Program settings. Boop, 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 boop. I don't see it. It just background has transparency. No, because you can do it on VTube Studio, and I wanted to do the bit. I wanted to do the bit where I was just gonna be low opacity for the rest of the stream. But this is VAutoTube, and I'm a PNG tuber, and it's a good program. So I'm not gonna shit on it for not having for having transparency. Can the words come out of my mouth? Let me take a sip. Maybe that'll help. But yeah, I can't shit on it for having low transparency settings because it's a really epic program that's free. And works just fine for what I need it for. But yeah, as I was saying, there's that meme that it calms you down, but for me it makes me hyper, which is why my mom was like, maybe you don't have ADHD. Can OBS do it? It might be able to, but then I'd have to set up OBS, which I do have installed. But I don't know, I found Streamlabs easier to understand, and I don't know why, even though I'm pretty sure it's almost identical. And I feel like when I do set up a whole bunch of what's it called? Maybe when I get Live 2D or whatever, I'll need a more, I guess, robust. I don't know if Streamlabs is less robust or whatever than OBS. I just know everyone uses OBS versus Streamlabs, but everyone uses Streamlabs or Stream Elements for dual streaming. And I realized I could straight up just stream out of Streamlabs instead of like hooking up Streamlabs to OBS and setting everything up that way. Because I was looking into overlays and stuff, and it was, listen, everything is so confusing. The Pikmin! Yeah. I've been saying to myself I need to ask for ADHD meds because, like I was saying, I am low energy, but it made me. Are you joking? No, for real. Listen, we got distracted by the Pikmin. I've been. It makes me hyper, but in a way where you had like 3 monsters, maybe hyper. And. Sorry, hold on, let me mute. Swallowed my spit wrong. It made me really hyper. In a way where my heart would go fast. Nice. So I would only take it like once or twice, even though it was like, take once a day, twice a day. I would take like one, and it would make me really hyper and chatty. And I would lock in, but everyone around me would look at me weird. And the hyperness was just to the point where I was slightly shaky. So I was like, maybe this isn't for me. But also, I tried it like once or twice. So it could also be that my body isn't used to it and needs to get used to it. Like, you need meds for a month, but I don't know. The way my mom talked about it made me doubt it. So I would just give up anytime a med would make me slightly hyper. So, like, I tried Ritalin, I think. Well, it might not have been Ritalin. I tried 2. If you're palpitating, that dosage was too high. Yeah, but I palpitate in general. And we did, like, a scan on it. Like they sent me to I urgent care sort of because they had the machine there for me to get my heart checked out because I brought it up when I was still in high school. Uh, it was either high school or early college. I was talking to my psych, like, "Hey, I get heart palpitations just randomly, just especially at night or whatever." And he was like, "All right, we'll get it checked out. Here's a referral to the urgent care or whatever for them to do the machine." Um, my dumbass shows up ready to the machine after chugging an entire Cumberland Farms 89 cents extra large Mountain Dew uh fountain drink. And so my my heart was going fast. And so I show up for a heart palpitation test with a speeding heart, and the dude the desk almost shat himself, be like, "Are you okay?" He was like, I think you need to, I think you need to be at the hospital. And my mom's like, no, it's okay. Well, here's the thing. I had already was in the middle of drinking the Mountain Dew before the psych test, right? Um, so the psych tests are like anywhere between 5 to 15 minutes, depending on what I need to talk about with my meds. So, she picked me up, and I had the Mountain Dew, inflicted by the dew, and I drank like half of it. And without thinking, because like in my head, caffeine doesn't affect me that much behavior wise. So the heart palpitation thing didn't even come into my, uh, not palpitation, but the racing didn't come into my head, right? Um, so I just finished it off before getting there. And so he was so scared. Um, he's like, I think you need to be at the hospital. And it's like, my mom's like, no, it's fine. They had they had Mountain Dew beforehand. I was like, oh yeah, that's my bad. So yeah, we went and had that test. My brain says EKG, but I don't think it's an EKG. Um, they hooked up some probes to here. I'll point on the Huni where they where the aliens probed me. uh, Point on the Huni doll where the where the aliens probe you. So they put it right here on my wrists, on the ankles, and I think right here too. Maybe even on my neck. Um, and it came back completely fine. I haven't gone for a test since. Um, but yeah, even though I palpitate regularly, um, it's like a little flutter, you know? I'll just be sitting there and it'll feel like my heart's doing a little twerk. It's not painful. It's just almost ticklish, if that makes sense. Um, Sounds like an arrhythmia. Maybe. I just don't know. The machine didn't pick it up, so I just wonder. Um, I also haven't been to the I've been to my psych regularly, but I haven't been to like a physician or a PCP since I was 18, which I should probably do that this year. For a while it was because I didn't have insurance. I mean, I did have insurance at some point. I mean, so it went like this, right? At 18, I had my pediatrician, right? And then no longer because I was 18 and he don't do adults. He's a pediatrician. So I had to find a new PCP, but I was going to college at the time. So not only did I not have the time to look for a PCP, but when it was time and it was summertime, I was too exhausted from school to give a damn and even try. Like, I know Oxy knows what I mean by SCAD being exhausting. Like, when I say I barely drew for like a year to 2 years after I graduated, I mean that shit. You can literally see it on my art account. You can go through the history. I posted almost every fan art I did during that time. Um, and I had a lull this fall in December because of mental illness, but at least I'm back to at least drawing again, having inspiration to draw, because I didn't even have that. It took me until me watching like Cell of Imperio and drawing that one comic page, which I'm still so proud of. I should do that meme where it's like, what's the art that got the most attention versus the art that you're the most proud of. Um, the art that got the most attention was Mint's ass on Cobot's uh account, but the art I'm most proud of is the comic book page for Cell of Imperio, because I don't know, I'm just so proud of it. I think not to toot my own horn, but I think I translated the scene of the game pretty well, because that's based off of an RPG Maker scene where it's pixels of bitches. God, it's gorgeous. The art direction in Cell of Imperio is so good, because even though it's RPG Maker and it's this one dude who made the game for free in his free time, it's still so gorgeous. Like, I don't think he can monetize. I think in America he would be able to monetize it. I don't know the also the whole ass comic is so also it's a whole ass comic, so that's a huge pat on the back for real. I mean, it's a single page. I did so much more in school that I haven't even posted, because I'm like, I want to finish it up before I post it, but I have so many comics I haven't posted. Most of them are on Instagram, I think. Because I had the Instagram before this art Twitter. Because I used to post all my art on my main, but I would also, let me preface this by saying I haven't argued with strangers on the internet since the beginning of December. But I would argue with the strangers on the internet on my art account, and I was like, not my art account, my main account, which is also privated now, which helps in me not arguing with people, because I think I'm the only person who does this, but I go through comments sometimes just to get the vibe, and then I'll see bitches who say the dumbest thing, and I'll see bitches who are trying to argue against them, and they're just doing it wrong. They're just saying the wrong things and making it worse, and I just feel like I have to like say something, but I don't think it's worth my energy anymore. So I haven't done it since December. I think the only time I replied to any argument was when people find comments of old arguments I had. I'll respond to those. Not with as much vitriol as I used to. But it was a conversation in progress, and if someone says some dumb shit to something I already commented, I'm gonna respond. But I think that's happened like twice. But anyway, as I was saying, I would have my art on my main account where I would argue, and I'm like, well, people who will follow me for my art, if they ever do, won't want to see this bullshit, so let me make a separate art account. So I did. I have so much art though that just isn't on that throughout the years, like so much art that was posted and deleted from DeviantArt that's lost to the sands of time. Art I posted on a Tumblr account I don't remember the email for. Like, it would be one thing if I didn't remember the password, right? But I don't remember the fucking email. Now you gotta drop your NSFW account. I deleted that shit. I had a vent account and a NSFW account where I'd retweet shit, but I deleted both of those because ain't no one give a fuck about either of those. So, damn, I'm talking so much I've got voice crack. Let me take a sip. But yeah, that goes back. The me talking a lot goes back to what I was saying with my meds. Because I've been meaning to ask my psych for them because I need thank you for the hydrate. Taking another sip. I need it. Because I have leftovers, obviously, because I only took 2 or 3 pills, but I kept the bottles. The ones I had tried when I was, how many places ago was it? 3 moves ago? Okay, so I moved. Yeah, so it was 3 moves ago. There was the move before I moved out of California. There was the move. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So 3 moves ago, I've moved a lot. How many times have I moved? Okay, so is let me count it real quick. There is the. Why the fuck are you so big? Oh, that's fine. There is the time we lived with my grandma for a bit, and we had that one house in that one town. Then we moved out of the town to that one house. Then we moved up by the lake. Then we moved by the graveyard. Then we moved to another town. Then we moved back to the town we moved out of just then. Then I moved to California. And then we moved again. So I'm on my 9th move. Not counting the time we didn't have a home, but we did. We stayed at a camp for a summer while we were looking in between places. That my grandmother paid for. It was like a summer camp with like trailers and stuff where all the not old people hang out, but uh it was like half old people, half regular younger people, but we stayed there for a time, so 9.5, I guess. But yeah, the medication I had from 3 moves ago would probably be almost 6 or 7 years old now. So I don't have that anymore. Obviously, it's probably well expired. But I do have um oh, it's Ritalin. Methylphenidate, common brands Ritalin. I took that before stream to probably outdated in terms of like medical changes. Not even medical changes, but the chemicals in the pill will just wear off over time, I guess. Like they just stop being as effective, which can be risky because then that means the dosage is not as expected. Like if you were given like a dosage of 20 milligrams, um, but it was outdated and less effective, you could be taking like a dose of lesser than that, which could fuck with you and shit. But yeah, I took one of those before about 30 minutes before stream so I could lock in and be a bit more chatty. Uh, and I think it's helping. I haven't had heart palpitations yet. Um, my hand is. Let me check. It's a little shaky, but I did take. I don't know why. I feel like this is too big of a dose, but it was the dose I was prescribed. So I'm just gonna take it flat out. Um, I just took it flat out as it was, but I feel like I probably should have taken half a tablet. But like this is the dose I was expected to start out with anyway, so I just took it. But it's 20 milligrams. I feel like I should start with like 10 or something. It was either that or I'd be eepy because I was like I should get Monster maybe. If I didn't order any Monster, and maybe take it for like 2 weeks. Yeah, it takes like a month for medication to really get in the swing of things. I just got overly anxious about it. But yeah, this is obviously old medication, so I don't have a steady supply of these, which is why I only took it today for this stream because when I say I woke up low energy, I woke up low energy. It was like about to cancel stream low energy. Um but I'm glad I didn't. And I don't know. I'm not feeling the worst. I don't feel as bad as I remember. So I'll probably ask. I think my next appointment's the week after next. So I'll ask then about it. My mind's a prison where I'll be sitting there wanting to do work, but having no energy or motivation to, not even knowing where to start because I'm so overwhelmed. But like at least on this, while I am scattered around and all that, at least I'm doing shit. Whereas me the past like 4 or 5 months, seasonal depression really be like that. Especially because you're a bit more southern than I was in Connecticut, but you're still on the East Coast, which gets a bit darker. I don't know. It's been getting, even though we're pretty south. And when I was in Georgia and like south the North Carolina, it wouldn't get dark until late, even in the winter. Like between like 5 to 6 p.m. sometimes. But even though we're real down south in California, like LA is pretty southern. It's down south. We still get lights out at like we had it at like I think the earliest was 3:30. It's getting brighter now, obviously, because the days are getting longer with the winter solstice. So we're up to like 5 p.m. on a lucky day, but people really underestimate how bad the winter is on people's mental health. People like to be like, "Oh, I love the winter." Bro, that's the worst. I need daylight. For real. Um People are like, "I love the winter." And those are the people who like need something checked out. You like the aesthetic of winter, I think, which you can achieve by not living somewhere where it snows. You can go to a place where they make artificial snow. um, but yeah, I don't know. People are like, "Oh, I'd love to experience all four seasons." And as someone who grew up with all four seasons, they're overrated as hell. And winter is one of the most deadly seasons. Especially for people with mental health struggles. Because the lack of daylight affects people so much. You don't even realize. Even if you don't go outside at all, the lack of daylight will affect you. Um, Summer and fall are my bestie. Uh, yeah, I think I'm like spring, summer, fall. I don't mind any of them. I think I like summer the most, but spring and fall are on like equal terms for me. Uh, both are pleasant if they're not too cold. Um, Especially because I feel like I've talked about this on stream before, but I've got arthritis and stuff, and I've had it for a while. It kind of started activating when I got Lyme disease when I was 8, so I've had it for a long time, and it also runs in the family. Uh, all different kinds. My mom has psoriatic arthritis from psoriasis, which is a rare form of arthritis because I think like what is it? 70% of people with psoriasis don't get this the psoriatic arthritis. Um but it's one of the more extreme types of arthritis, and I think my great grandmother also had it. My mom's mom, so the great grandmother on my mom's side, and my mom's mom, that grandma, unfortunately didn't make it long enough for us to really keep tabs on that, nor was she in the best, let's just say, the best condition for anyone to be around her, um, to keep tabs on it. So we don't know in that regard, but I don't know, based of, I didn't know this, damn, or as much. Yeah, based on my symptoms as of recently, at least like with my scalp condition, I definitely think I'm uh got the psoriasis on me. It's just a matter of time of whether or not I've got psoriatic arthritis from it. Um, and those types of conditions are exacerbated by the weather conditions. So if it's cold, that's why you really can feel the rain coming in your bones because the change in humidity and temperature affect the joints. Like I feel the phantom pain while describing it. Um, that's why old people would be like, I can feel the rain coming in my bones because they literally could. Um, and I feel that too when I go outside when it's cold. My knees are just so tight and achy. So that's and my mom obviously has it so much worse with psoriatic arthritis. It was to the point where during the winter time when she got home from work, she would just be laying down all the time cuz it hurt. So while California is probably the most expensive choice we could have chosen to escape the cold, it's also one of the few areas where we have family in the area. Deep down, we all peepaw and GMOS for real. But yeah, every time I think about winter, I think people don't realize how little the beautiful snow lasts. Um, that shit only looks that pristine and pretty for a couple hours after it's been dropped, you know? Uh, then if it's by a road, it turns into a brown slush that soaks your feet and freezes them. Um, or it's played in by kids, so it turns brown anyway because that's just what happens when you push snow, pack it down from playing with it. You reach the mud eventually, or it's in your backyard where you don't touch it at all, but the animals do. And so while it's almost pristine, you see the foot tracks and the piss stains and the poop spots. In the city, good luck seeing pristine snow at all. Um, so yeah, like when I think of winter, I don't think of hot cocoa sitting by the fire as it snows outside because that not only is that not a reality anymore with the climate, um, that's just not a reality really at all. Um, I think about the lack of daylight and how depressed it makes me feel. I think about the statistic of suicides in Alaska being the highest in the country because they have such drastic changes in sunlight that aren't good because the sun almost I think it's 6 months they have sun almost 24/7 and then 6 months they have almost no sun, and neither extreme is good for the human psyche, so they have the highest rate of etamus of the lithomus, and it snows a lot up there. And then often your life is put on hold when it snows because you can't leave the house. There are often times where, say, you had like a doctor's appointment or an emergency, but you couldn't leave the house because the snow's piled up, and there are only so many uh, truck drivers that plow the snow that are hired by the state. So honestly, a majority of it is done by white guys who bought a plow for their truck, for their giant ass truck. That's the only time those giant trucks should be allowed out on the road, when bitches are doing the snow plowing for the city. They should otherwise be outlawed because they're too fucking tall. But yeah, I'm not hating how I feel at the moment in terms of the medication. So I'll probably ask for maybe Ritalin, of a smaller dose, and I might try to switch my sleeping med back to what it used to be because I take something else now. Uh, but only for like the past 2 years. I had Ambien for like the longest time, but then I got a new psych in California because the one in Connecticut obviously can't give me my medication. He doesn't have a license in California. Um, the first psych I got here, which I only lasted like 6 months before I got a new one, she guilted me into no longer using my vital sleeping medication and had me downgrade by doing the unethical thing and telling me about her other patients' struggles with Ambien and their side effects, as if that matters to me, because I had been taking it longer than I had known her. I'd been taking it for like 3 to 5 years at that point, something like that. And my worst symptom was buying things off of Amazon at 2 a.m. Like, and she was like, one of my patients, which you're not supposed to say. You're not supposed to say one of my patients, but you're not supposed to say anything like that. You're not supposed to tell me that shit. But she was like, one of my patients once woke up in the middle of the highway in their car, not realizing that they had gotten up sleepwalking while driving. And I'm like, that's scary, but I don't have a car license. So what's that got to do with me? I eventually dropped her for something else. A different reason, but that was one of the reasons. It was just it was a situation where I was like, maybe we need to get to know each other more, and I'm thinking too deeply to, okay, there've been how many red flags already that I'm not comfortable with this woman. I'll ask for a change. Um so that's what happened. Took like 6 meetings and I was like, no thank you. Yeah, thankfully with this I don't have the fluttering heart, the racing heart at all. It's just the shaky hands, which might mean the dosage is just a bit too large. I don't know why the first psych who prescribed me ADHD meds was like, you're gonna take 20 milligrams twice a day. I don't know if that's the standard starter dose or not, but it just feels like a lot for like a controlled substance, you know? Because my, yeah, it says methylphenidate 20 milligram tablet. Take 1 tablet by mouth 2 times a day with meals. Max 2 tabs per day. Like, I mean, my like depression medication, like my Cymbalta and my lamotrigine, like, so I have Cymbalta as an antidepressant and lamotrigine as a stabilizer. I'm at like 90 degrees. 90 degrees? 90 milligrams Cymbalta and 100 Lamictal. For first perspective, I started out on like 25 Cymbalta. But for my Ambien and my other sleeping med, since they're, well, my other sleeping med isn't a controlled substance, but Ambien is. I was only allowed like 5 and then 10 if it didn't work too much. Oh god, Fawn is a 90-degree angle. Hold on. Is there... let's see. Hold on. I wanna... There we go. I'm just gonna be asleep for the rest of the stream. Hold on, wait. I have where's the blink? Wait, there's a blink. Cause he... Whatever. Me. I gotta piss actually real quick. Hold on. I'll be like 2 minutes. I'm back. The piss has been emptied. Let me slip in my little, what's it called? Drawing glove. Oh, forgot this spot right here. Why are these people talking? I'm like looking. It's not the end of the music video, so I can't even skip it. Okay, there we go. There the music starts. I was like looking for like a timestamp of like music starts here. Come on, zoom in. There we go. Oh, I'm on erase on accident. I never figured out how to get any of these pens over here, how to work. Like, I made sure my learner was closed and I had it set as reference layer and all that. But it just wouldn't do the thing. Do people usually talk as much as I do in chat IDK if I be annoying fun to chat sometimes? Yeah, you're fine. There are people who yap all the time and then there are people who just don't have the energy to yap. It all depends. Um I don't think you're spamming though. It's nice to have someone to talk to. They're on different streamers. There are people who yap even more, so. Just curious here. Go crazy. Also, random side note. My cock is hard. What's your random side note? I gotta send you that stuff I got from Transformers. You do. You gotta show me. I bet there was so much yaoi too, especially after Transformers 1. I was watching a streamer, uh, actually, you wouldn't believe. um, I was watching a streamer, I think shortly after we watched Transformers 1, uh, like a couple days later, and she got a message me like, "You gotta watch Transformers 1, there's so much doomed yaoi," and she's like, "Oh no." So much doomed yaoi. They really said if you thought they were divorced before, just you wait. We'll make them even more divorced. We slurp up every crumb we can get, for real. I was about to make a comment on the movie, being like, I think it was funny when such and such happened, but it's still a pretty new movie. I shan't spoil. Not to get back to an old topic, but I have been, every time I need to look up how to do something in streaming, I consider switching to OBS because all of the tutorials are in OBS. They'll be like Streamlabs/OBS, but it'll be purely on the OBS end, which I guess shows how similar they are because I could kind of follow along, but yeah. Yeah, I'm only familiar with seeing more OBS. Yeah. I would be like Streamlabs tutorial for X, and it'll be like Streamlabs/OBS tutorial, and I'd be like, oh boy, I sure hope they at least if they show OBS, they at least show a Streamlabs version, and they never do, and so I have to figure it out. Because not everything's named the exact same in each program. Even though it is called Streamlabs OBS, like, but I also haven't spent too much time in OBS to really notice too much. I saw a fun thing you could do with subtitles if you wanted to consider more accessibility in the future. Yeah, I have the closed captions plug in, but I I was I saw this one tutorial, but it had like source code I had to figure out, plug into something, and my eyes just glazed over. I was like, oh my god. But yeah, I'm definitely interested. Definitely interested. That's part of the reason I'm not big into modding at all, because you have to go into the game files often. Not all the time. There are like loaders now and launchers now, but like back in the day when I was big into Minecraft, like early 2010s, I just did not even bother with modding because I did not want to go into the game files because I feared like I would fuck things up. Yeah, I think the guide was OBS, but it's mainly just adjusting groups and layers. So hell yeah. I had to be down. Yippee! And I'll try and install it for next stream. But this time I'll actually do it instead of just saying I will, despite having a whole conversation about how when I say that I never do it. But I will this time if it's just layers in the stream because I can like set that up easier. God, it's for real me making my comp language up just to play yaoi dating sims. Yeah. See, I was lucky enough to be able to watch DMMD with the horny scenes on YouTube. There's this one account that uploaded them with the in English subtitles, the Japanese voices. Obviously, because there's no English dub of the game, but yeah, it was all on YouTube, cock and all. It's obviously not there anymore. I can tell you that. But they were there for long enough to put out uploads of every single route. The only route I didn't watch was Minx because I'm not a fan of him, and I heard how his route goes down. I was like, yeah, I'll pass. Yeah, his is something. Yeah, and I remember all the discourse on Tumblr about it. People, there were either mink haters or mink lovers, and mink lovers were like, "Well, Alba forgave him, so you should just move on." And then mink haters were like, "Well, it doesn't matter if he forgives him. Also, he's the only darker skinned character. Because calling him dark skinned is a stretch. He's like darker skinned than the rest of the cast. Um, he's the only one in this series, yet he's portrayed that way. You know what it is. What it is. No need to. No need for me to unpack. What was it? 2016 Yaoi discourse. Let's leave that shit packed. But I never what well, I think I watched some of the second game's content, but not all of it. I heard there was a Mizuki route in the game, which is what made me want to get into it, because I always thought it was stupid Mizuki never got a root, and that was, Jesus laying in bed listening to dudes. Hold on. You're so right. But while I get this up, I'll continue talking. But he never did. So I feel like they did, was it of Reloaded or whatever? They did another version, which people didn't really appreciate, I guess, because it was safe for work. But it had like a Mizuki route or whatever, which was the true route or something. I don't know. I just always feel like Mizuki's story was handled shittily, and they could have done so much more. Let me just. I'm doing something real quick. Why is this a WebP image, you slut? Finally a JPEG. Okay. Right? Because it was Alba's bestie. Yeah, and then the ending is just weird. We don't even really see him. We're just told he recovers. So hearing he got a root is what made me want to get into it, but then I heard it was SFW, and I was like, never mind. Oh, you're not supposed to be that big. We can both sleep together. Oh, hold on. Laying together with the bestie. Me and Yowie Jesus. No, but it's so funny that people are calling fucking Hoyoverse characters Yowie Jesus. Bro, Yowie Jesus is a title for a reason, because he was Alba was pinned to the cross. What do you mean? And he took it up the butt. What did Sunday do? He was on the cross, BDSM crucified. He was. Put respect on the title. Like, listen, if another Yaoi Jesus came along that was crucified, I'm down for a new generation, right? The kids nowadays, they barely know about DMMD other than through memes. You don't see the hype it had before. You see people clowning on it via the anime, which you should rightfully clown on the anime, especially the dub. Well, honestly, I think they had fun with the dub. I feel like it was Ghost Story dub energy where they knew what they were doing. But yeah, the DMMD isn't new, so I can accept that a Yaoi Jesus replacement will come up and come along. But it hasn't so far. Words have meaning, guys. Oh, thank you for the save. For some reason, recently, I've been having a lot of dreams where I'm back in the town I lived the longest in, um, and I'm just bike riding from my grandma's to the other side of town where I live, well, lived, and I just keep having that sort of dream, and I'm like kind of tired of it. I guess it might be because her death anniversary's coming up, so it's like subconsciously she's on my mind, but I don't know. I've also been wanting to get a bike again, but I'm also scared of riding on the street. I feel like I'll get hit. I don't know street bike etiquette. I only know sidewalk bike etiquette. Um, and I feel like it's similar in Georgia that it is in California. At least Savannah. I don't know if it's a Georgia law, but in Savannah you weren't allowed to drive. It was illegal to drive bikes on the sidewalk. Uh, which we were told during school orientation or at some point while getting school info because the school had specific, oh, not me doing that, school specific bikes that were for students that they could borrow and rent for a couple cents. um so like students wouldn't drive on the sidewalk with their bikes and get in trouble, but they did it anyway. I never did though, because I knew if I were to do it I'd be the bitch getting caught. Yeah, I don't trust people driving around me if I was on a bike. Yeah. Especially since I mean there's more dedicated bike lanes in California than Connecticut, especially since I'm no longer in a small town that didn't have any bike lanes. But still, there's no bike lanes on the street I live on. And it's a busy street. The It's right next to an highway exit slash entrance. All right, I think we fully greened it. More distractions for drivers now too. Yeah. Shrekified. All right. I like starting with skin. Oh, yeah. Especially because I have to be less precise with it. Like, I can just put a blob like this, and no one will know because I'll draw the hair on top of it. BRB gotta trim Iggy's nails. Trim them baddies. We trimmed Meatball's nails recently. She had some ganglers. The grippers. Driving, driving, oh, I forgot to green this part of the arm. God damn it. I even made sure to zoom out and double check. Whatever. Okay, do that. driving. Give me all you know, go yourself, baby. What the fuck is this? Whatever. Na 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 na. If I was insane, I could just do infinite masking layers on this one green. So I don't go out of the coloring boundaries. But that would be in criminal behavior. Okay, well, I don't need to be that extreme with it, loser. I draw Never heard this song before. Oh, it's a Queen Bee one from how long ago? A year ago. How have I not heard this one? Let me give it a like. Oh wait, this isn't skin. This is a sock, dumbass. Yeah. This side has a sock and this side doesn't. I'm feeling a bit nostalgic. I think I want to bust out a playlist I haven't played in forever or added to in forever. Put it on shuffle. Oh, we're starting off strong. God damn. Then I'm gonna use this. Wait, that's just a pure white, I'm pretty sure. To do a sock and shirt, I think. That's not the color. The White Oaks. Hell yeah, Xanthede. Me reading out the message as if someone said it. Thank you, Xanthede, for farting today. I finally got the redeemed fixed so that they're calculated. It tells you how many. I keep forgetting I'm not here. There we go. Hey, yippee, it's counting. Yeah! It turns out I just hadn't read close enough to the instructions. So I was using the example input instead of adjusting it to my what's it called? My specific redeem, I guess. We're also in the nostalgic anime playlist that I made myself over a decade ago, which I haven't added to in years. So so that's proof there's not going to be any modern anime music in it. I think the last time I added to it was like 5 years ago, maybe. It said that I labeled an anime openings and endings, but I'm pretty sure it has character songs in it too. And just general OSTs. That's probably the anime I know too, honestly. Yeah, it's Pandora's Heart, Soundless Voice. I see girl. I forgot this Weewa too. VTubers have taken over my watch time for the past 4 years. Yeah. Thankfully for most of 2020 and 2021, I was in school. And then I didn't get into EN. I mean, I knew about EN since Lazulite debuted, but I was still in my JP era, if that makes sense. For Nichi Sanji, was too, like, I had my handfuls too much with the clips of JP that I had at an abundance to even tune into the debuts. And my friend managed to convince me, even though I didn't agree at the time. I just also felt like they must have been correct. They were like, I don't know. I don't know if I like the last who liked designs. I feel like with Hollow Live, it was so much more cohesive, and you knew what they were going for. But I don't know what they're going for with Nichi Sanji. And then I looked up at the first Hollow Live wave, because at this point I didn't really pay attention to Hollow Live. I think I mentioned this before, but just for context, the corporate idol life is something I don't really condone. Especially on the JP side, which is what Hollow Live is. It is a corporate idol group. I love Kaigai idols. I love indie idols. I love people who are working in that direction. And I even like Otto's idol group, even though it's corporate. But if you look at how corporate idols work, yeah, that's what I was initially feeling too regarding designs between corpo. Well, yeah, that's the thing. I hadn't even looked into Hololive, so when I looked up the designs, I didn't know what they were going for at all. I could not come up with a theme, and then when my friend said it was mythic, they're mythical, I was like, well, one of them's just a girl in a detective suit. What do you mean? One's just a girl in a shark suit. Like it didn't scream mythical to me. They looked like cosplayers of what they were supposed to be, if that makes sense. Um, Whereas Lazulite screamed fantasy, which is, I guess, kind of what they were going for. They didn't really have like group lore, I guess, in the same extent that oh, I'm drawing on the wrong layer. In the same extent that Hololive does with all their groups. Um, so it wasn't like their lore went too much deeper like Hololive's did. Um, so I didn't tune into the debuts because I was sort of convinced by a friend who I felt was more tuned into the scene, saying that it just wasn't it. It was lacking in some senses. And like if you look back on it, I think the restriction on them not being able to hire people to do their lore and having to do it on themselves was silly, but it also had a charm to it where they did their own lore. But I definitely think the new system of being able to hire for lore is better. But all of that's to say, like, I can see why that would also come off as like lesser because it would look like lesser production value. Whereas I know for a fact when it came to the Hololive EN Wave 1 debuts, they went all out production value wise, I feel like. But it felt like with Nichi Sanji, they were being a lot more cautious and not putting in enough effort. Like that's how it seemed for me, and I was even a fan of Nichi Sanji JP. I was like, damn, they're not really giving much of an effort to the EN side. But then Luxium came out, and it felt like they were finally giving a fuck, you know? So I decided it was time to tune in. Especially because Shu's lore was super funny. But I didn't really have an Oshi for like up until August 2022. So like I had 8 or 9 months of being a fan of EN, but like sort of like wandering around not knowing who I Oshi'd the most or even what an Oshi was until um meeting Pomu and such. But I finally landed on Pomu when I was watching the Friday the 13th collab with Fulguru, Uki, and them. And she was doing the bit where she was singing in the tent all by herself. And that's like how it became her becoming my Kamiyoshi, I guess. Like that one gag made me tune into her more because she was so funny, which just turned into a obsession, you know? Dude, California girls dancing next to the tent is classic. For real. It's peak. And it was purely because she was doing it for herself, too. There was no one around. She didn't know if anyone was watching her in the dead cam. She was just doing it to entertain herself. I miss Poma so much. I always feel guilty saying I miss Pomu because everyone's like, oh, she's in a better, happier place now. I'm also like, but she's not Pomu. Like, it's the same person. It's the same person behind it, whatever. Um, but from a fan's perspective, VTubers are different depending on if they're indie or corpo. Uh, because what I've noticed is their personalities, they don't change, but the content they do diversifies a lot more, which for isn't a bad thing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, especially in Mint's regard. I don't mind any diversification because, sorry, honestly, as much as I think her Metal Gear Brain Rot is charming, other games would be great to see. Um, because it's I don't want to get too bit into forbidden talk, but she had just finished a whole year sprint, and it's not even a year later, and there's another whole sprint through the games. Um, Content, character, mannerisms. Yeah, the stuff does change. The intro changes, the character changes, who you collab with changes, which is where a bit portion of your personality comes from. Your collab partners and who you surround yourself with. Like, you don't get that same back and forth at all anymore if they graduate, because those interactions are unique between that person, those two people. So that's like the one of the few things that Quinn parrots all the time that I don't get. He's like, it's the same people, and I'm like, no one's saying they're not the same people. They're not the same content creator. It's the same person behind it, but they're creating different content, collabing with different people. Niji Sanji had that built-in community collab partner setup. Yeah, they're so collab oriented. Almost everyone has a collab once or twice a week at this point, which I can be exhausting, I feel like, but it's really fun for fans. Whereas indies don't. I mean, if they're on Twitch, they tend to collab a lot, but YouTube indies don't tend to collab as much. At least Mint doesn't collab as much as she used to. Doki, she still collabs a decent amount. All right, so I got. Oh no, I want to do the sock too. And then the fluffy things are going to be bright pink. But it's not even time for that yet, so don't even worry about it. I'm on the wrong layer again, you goddamn jackass. Okay, well, that makes me worry how long I've been working on it. God damn it. That was so long ago, god damn it. You know what, just come here. Just come here, just do this. There we go, all of that. For me, my 2020 Niji Sanji intro was Pomu coming into the French Club in the universe. I mean, not knowing it was live. Yeah, that was peak. Was that Pomu or Enna? I feel like it happened with both Pomu and Enna, right? Let me check the clip. I'm just gonna look up Niji Sanji French. Oh, it's filled with Zally. French collab Nina. Oh, she did one with Zally too. Where is that freaking clip? I think it happened to NA too, but I think the clip I saw was with Pomu. Yeah. I can't find either clip though. Since she did a collab with Crisis too. Because the stream I'm thinking about happened for Crisis even debuted. Yeah, okay. Nina Rosemi Raymond talk food in French featuring a confused Pomu. So peak. Okay, back to let's see how much of this is still on the ground. Okay, I think I almost got it all. Let me just lock transparency, that'll be better. Oop, not me hitting the mic, my bad. Okay. So this part, the shirt is white. Is that it? Did I? Okay, no, there's this piece. There's pieces everywhere. Fuck it, and then we'll just. I think it's funny how often I talk about both how school burnt me out and how I want to go back to school. I've talked, I think, both about both situations twice. Make up your mind. Did school wear you out or did you love it? The people need to know. This part I need to fix again. Everybody jump up. Everybody hands up. Everybody jump up. Everybody hands up. It's valid to want to go back for school for 10 plus years in a row. Yeah. That and also like I went to art school, so I just feel like because of when I graduated and when my senior year was, my senior year was fall of 2019 to 2021, I think. Spring of 2021. So, I graduated um peak COVID, so my senior year was extremely lacking and I feel like I wasted it almost. Especially cuz the year before that, the whole half a year of school before that, the beginning of 2020 was also like developing isolation depression from COVID, so I lost all my motivation. And even though I went back to school, the campus, it still wasn't like during 2021. It and it was purely because the school had technology like technology and software that I couldn't afford. Like they had, well, now I have a tablet almost as good as the tablets at college, but they had really good tablets for art, which I would use all the time. And I was in a lot of game design classes that required 3D modeling, which my little laptop could not handle. I tried for a semester, a quarter. I promise. I had an Unreal Engine course, and I literally had to go to Philadelphia, um, to my sister's place because she had a better computer, and spend my last couple weeks of school at my sister's place so I could do my homework. So I decided after that I'll go back to campus since it is be, it is technically open to students. It just isn't open like it used to be. There was only they only let like a handful of students in a dorm, and I think it was like two and then three with like an exception if you like wrote a note. So I had only a handful of roommates. I had one roommate, and then I got another roommate for the final quarter. So I was at three. But yeah, I had to go to the campus because I mean I had a ZBrush class and I'm not paying for ZBrush even with the student discount. Like I think it was free with maybe it was free with my school. I don't know, but like it didn't matter because I didn't have equipment to use it anyway. My computer couldn't even handle simple scenes in Unreal Engine, which fun fact are all on my YouTube. I they had the a lot of the um work for that specific class was learning Unreal, and then we made like what's it called, scenes that we would record and do showcases of, and that's how we would present our work. We would have a video showcase, and you would be graded not only on the work you did, but also how well the video did at telling the narrative of your sort of setup. Oh wait, let's not draw the hair on the same layer as the clothes. Hold on, I'm gonna fill up my water bottle real quick since it's empty. I'll be right back. I'm back. Thank you for the save. Yeah, when I started coughing from having a too dry a mouth, I was like, I gotta get up and get water. This is just silliness. Let's like this layer. What's this layer? Oh, it's that. That makes sense. Okay. And then I was making a new layer for the hair. Done, Spar Scott. Shout out to Magi of the Labyrinth of Magic getting 2 seasons and then a Sinbad spin-off before dying and never finishing its anime arc. I remember when Tumblr went crazy over, I think it was a 5 year time skip and Aladdin grew up. Everyone was like, he can do that? He can grow up? And he was like 15. It's like, bro, he's still not grown up yet. But he is taller than he was last time. Thank you for noticing. No, but the shock makes sense because we were so used to him being a little creature. Why are you all the way down there? Hello? And oh. I keep thinking about doing watch alongs for anime I want to watch that I've already finished airing that I want to, I don't know, watch with people, but I don't know how I would go about that on Twitch because I don't have like any theater assets for me to drop my my what's it called? I don't have what the fuck was I saying? I don't have anywhere to put I was gonna say my shitty mic. Anywhere to put my shitty PNG. Wait, not shitty PNG, fucking PNG tuber. See, I had shitty in my mouth and it came out again. My mic's pretty shit though, even though it's like $200. Goddamn. My shitty mic doesn't need to go anywhere for watch alongs. Yeah, I don't have any theater overlays to put my PNG tuber. I need to get to it and maybe make some. I looked it up, but I don't know, the requirements seem so small. I guess you're not changing how they look too much. Put the content in a frame to make space for the PNG/socials. Yeah. Yeah, that would make sense. I forgot to clear out these holes. Should be like this. Negative space in these areas. I'm also just not inspired on the design. I'm like no good at graphic design, but getting buying and making not buying and making buying stream assets is expensive. Doing VTubing in general, it's expensive. If you thought 2020 prices were expensive, which I did, they don't got shit on 2025 prices. I'm too broke, so I gotta learn how to do it. It's just making sure I didn't draw any hair on the wrong layer. No, this part should be filled in. Yeah. Unless. Yeah, that's good, actually. I can't hear you, I'm screaming. Excuse me, I'm screaming. Can't you see? Can't you see? Can't you see my face? I can't hear you. Nothing wrong with some handmade stuff to start out with, and I'm sure there are some free assets out there just looking for credit in the description / the panel. Yeah, that's true. I've been seeing a lot of free assets I could use, but a lot of them don't match my color palette, if that makes sense. Like, it'd be weird for me to be a super orange red VTuber with blue or green overlays, you know? And for some reason, people aren't the biggest fan of the fan orange. Of the color orange. I saw some free overlays on, not free overlays. I saw some overlays on Streamlabs, but they were not free. They were like through premium, Streamlabs premium only. And most of the red or orange ones were like flame related. Like a good chunk of them. Which also wouldn't really fit, you know? But I have my eyes out. I'm either gonna make some or I'm gonna find some by the end of this month. This part right here can be open, but the rest of this can be implied to be behind her. Yeah, Big Flames are very aggressive gamer oriented. Yeah. And like, I do game more often than I do art, but my name is Fawn Comics. Like, I went to college and got a degree in comic art. I'm spent so much money on that. I'm gonna use ad. I shall wait for the ad to end before continuing. Back. Damn, that means my stream chat is incorrect then. Cause on the streamer's end, there's like, well, I don't even know if it's on streamers, just streamers end. It might even be on y'all's end. I get this huge green bar that says ad break in X amount of minutes and then ad break starting. and it said when you said you were back, there are still 30 seconds left on the ad break. So I'm like, oh, I guess it must be off on my end, and it's not even like a stream delay. It's like my actual live chat. Um, but yeah, as I was saying, like, while I do game, I went to college for comic degree. Um, a degree for comic art. So I spent a bunch of money in that. I'm going to use that branding to my advantage. And I keep saying I need to get back into making comic pages, but I don't know. I don't think anything's gonna top my Cell of Imperio comic page. I should make another Cell of Imperio comic page actually. I think there's another scene that's really good I want to draw. My issue though when it comes to comics is I don't know. I still don't understand how much I need to tell per panel when it comes to movement. Like if I want to have someone reach out and grab something, I in my head I want to draw like 3 panels of the dude reaching out to do the action to grab, but that's animation, you know? But I in my head don't know which stage of the action makes the most sense to be translated, you know? Yeah, I don't think I like that. I don't know too much about the production of comics. I can see how blocking the character's actions within panels limits, but also sets you up to show creativity. Yeah. Yeah, comics are hard. There's a lot of thought put into it because you can't show as much as animation, but you're expected to tell as much as animation. You can't narrate as much in novels, but you're expected to show as much details as in novels, you know, which you think might be easier with art. But the time it takes to describe a place is infinitely shorter than it does to draw the place. Yeah, I think that's supposed to be empty, isn't it? No, because it's part of that hair chunk, I think. Oops. But the comic production compared to manga production in Japan is crazy different. Um, like I know in yep, there's a character song, Killua's character song. um, but yeah, I know that mangakas have like assistants and stuff, but not so much indie comics. But when it comes to like say a DC and Marvel comics, those comics, things are broken up into stages more, and the I feel like the work is a bit more evenly distributed. People are still being worked to the bone, but there are like a lot of different stages in the process. Like I feel like from what I know, unless the manga cuz specifically working with an author or a writer to help write the script, they're like coming up with everything, the script, the art, the thumbnails, um and then their assistants sort of clean up or line or you know. But in America, it could be anywhere from you doing every single thing yourself, like that sometimes happens in manga where they don't even have assistants, or it could be as broken down to there's someone who does the script, and then there's someone who does thumbnails, and then there's someone who does the character work, and then there's someone who does the liner, and then there's someone who does the background, and then there's someone who does the coloring. So yeah, there's someone who does the what it's called lettering, so that all the text and the speech bubbles is often done by a separate person. But I'm out here being the jackass doing everything myself, but because that's how we're taught in college, you know? When we do our comic assignments, we do everything ourselves. It's against school policy to, unless it's a collaborative project, to have people help. So, any part you like doing the most? Maybe the lining? I think lining's really fun. A fun fact, the inking stage in Haruhi, the inking stage in comics doesn't just refer to line art. It refers, depending on what style you're working with. If you're entirely coloring your work, this might not apply, but most comics, especially in the West, well, especially just in general, I guess, because even in Japan, they're mainly black and white. Um, unless you get to like DC stuff, but there's not as much color. So inking refers to not only the line art, but the what we call spot black. So the big black shadows that and stuff. It's a much more involved stage than just putting down the lines. You have to also fill out the what we call spot blacks, which is just spots that are completely black. So the inking stage can also sometimes be your rendering stage, unless you use screen tones or grays to whatever add rendering. I'm almost done with the hair. You said before. It's true with webtoons also. The webtoon pipeline is similar to the comic pipeline. Um, we had a present editor, I think, from webtoon come in one time and explain the process of webtoon, and it's pretty similar. It can go anywhere from someone doing everything themselves to thumbnails being as basic as 3D models being placed, and then being sent up the line for each consecutive step. I forgot to do the fucking sock down here back when it all got erased. I'm a meteor. I think that should be all black. Well, I think for the skirt, I don't know if I want to go pink or black for the skirt. Oh God, no. Somebody I need to and I know. What if I just do neither and did? I don't know. It would be this dark. Something more like that. She looks like Napolitan ice cream. I don't know which color I like better. Because if I do a plaid skirt, that's just plaid pink plaid skirt. That's just the same as her original design. It's just a different skirt. I don't think the black fits the theme of the assignment. The assignment being Gyaru. Let's see. Let me look up some references real quick. No, I think I can go with the black. Yeah, I think the black works fine. I think I'm gonna make it a bit lighter though. Just don't want it to look brown. Something the fighters that say it, but I'll never take you for granted. And I'll never take you for granted. Let's go. That's right, chat. I'll never take you for granted. Let's go. Shout out to Naruto Uzumaki. Why is this one silent? The whole video is just silent. I think he got muted. I think he got muted, guys. Hey, hey, Samurai Heart! Hey, hey, Samurai. DMCA strikes again for real. Do not open Cookie Clicker. Oh, this is a cover too. Colba Solo, I remember him. I used to follow his covers a lot, and then he personally started to stop doing the singing and started bringing other people to do the singing, whereas he just did the music. And I kind of stopped following along because I followed him mainly for his voice. I don't know what he's up to now because there's a couple years ago when I was like, oh, he's not really singing anymore. So I don't care. I don't really care anymore. As bad as that is. I guess it's similar to when a band replaces their lead singer or whatever. Some people are just gonna stop watching. Hey, hey, samurai heart. Hey, hey, samurai heart. I don't give a shit about your minute long outro. No, Kisako Tante Inaba. Chat, can I confess a sin? A sin I carry close to my heart. Alright, here it comes. Season 2 of Black Butler is my favorite Black Butler season. That's right. The non-canon filler season of Black Butler is this VTuber's favorite Black Butler season. Come at me with your pitchforks. He knows in here because I've never watched it. Most of the fandom hates it because they hate Alois Trancy so much. Because he's a spoiled brat of a kid whose hobby is torturing the people who works for him. But he's also one of my favorite characters. You can say anything about Black Butler right now and I'll agree. Nana Mizuki. The fact Nana Mizuki did the Tales of Symphonia Tetheala opening is crazy. Like, that's a big name singing the opening to an anime adaptation of one of the games in my favorite game series. I was going to say one of my favorite game series game. That wouldn't make sense. I mean, I guess it would, but if you thought about it for a second. It's funny though, because now I hear Nana Mizuki and I immediately associate it with Symphogear, because she sang so many Symphogear songs. She sang like every single Symphogear opening. And Tsubasa, a character she voiced in the anime, sang so many songs. Yeah, Black Butler was a wild time though. I think shit is still being made for it. I know Book of Circus came out, and then the book on the boat came out. But I feel like I heard about something coming out recently too. If not, yeah, there is a whole new season that was announced. I don't know if it dropped yet, but everyone is hating the new art style for it. I feel like they need to figure out Black Butler because they need to stop like making an anime season and then going MIA for a few years and then dropping a 12 episode OVA adaptation. Maybe it's because they caught up with the manga, but in that case, wait for it to finish. Is it still ongoing, the manga? I feel like it is. Let me check. No, it's still ongoing, but it's been on hiatus since June of last year. What do you mean? What do you mean Black Butler manga's still ongoing? That's crazy. Wait, why are you replaying? Oh no, that's a different. This is a song we've already heard. Oh no, we're not listening. I don't need to be reminded of Nanatsu no Taizai right now. No hate to the song, I just don't need that series on my brain at the moment. Fun fact about this anime, they concluded the story of the anime before the manga was finished, so it has an entirely different ending. The manga. I think the anime and the manga met up. I'm going to keep it vague cuz I don't know if anyone's watched it, but they caught up to the manga when he woke up in the hospital near the end. That's all. Yeah. So that's where the series met, caught up to each other, and from there the anime took its own ending, whereas the manga had a much more detailed, in-depth ending arc that will never be adapted, I bet. I think I'll finish flatting the skirt and call it, since I only really wanted to stream about 3 hours, since I still have to take a shower and go to Daiso with my mom before it gets too late. It's only 3:30, but I don't want to be out in the dark too much, and it's gonna start getting dark soon. I'm just the type that gets sleepy when I see the dark. I mean, obviously I have seasonal depression, so that affects it too. But when the sun goes down, I start getting eepy. Which is silly because it goes dark pretty early now. So I'm feeling eepy at like 3 p.m. despite waking up at 10 a.m., you know? It's like, damn, what is my life? I want to add padding to the skirt though, for sure. Are you gonna pick up from Daiso? We don't know yet. I think we're just going there to see what they got, because this Daiso opened within the last few months, so it's a new one. And the first time we went to Daiso was in Korea, and we like fell in love with it. And while it's not the same exact Daiso, like type of Daiso, it won't have the same products or anything, and the prices will be American prices. It's still, I don't know, it's still like we want to see if it's as good, you know? Want to check it out. Remember last year when 7-Eleven announced they were going to start implementing Japanese food items to the American 7-Elevens? And then they still haven't done that. Oh yeah, Daisos have always have something different between locations. Yeah. We also want to see what type of product they offer in America, because this is our first time going to an American Daiso. Because they didn't have any in Connecticut. At least not near me when I lived there. And I think this is the only one, at least within a 30-minute distance of us. Probably not the only one in the LA area, but there definitely aren't a lot. Yeah, and it sucks too because I'm really in the groove of things right now, and I could keep going, but I promised my mom we'd go to Daiso because I really want to get out of the house because it's been 2 weeks. um, it's fine. We got a decent amount done. We finished filling out. Friends and I road tripped to LA from a neighboring state just to go through all the Daisos. That's so valid. That sounds like an activity I should do. Good progress. Yeah. We got all of the body filled with the bright green. We flatted the skirt, the skin, and the hair, and the white part of the top. The first hour of the stream was also dedicated to me yapping about nothing and figuring out mix it up. Okay. You know what? No, let's first. Well, no, I'll have them both on the same layer. This is going to be the same color anyway, so I'll fill this out too. This leg strap. While we're here. So proud. I'm so proud, so proud. Okay, well wait. We have to finish till this is done. The Vampire Night opening. You can't skip. You can't end and skip the Vampire Night opening. A ton of manga and figures. They did. That's cool. The Daiso in Korea didn't have manga and figures. Yume no hate there's gonna be a lot of accessories I need to color. Well, while we're here, let's figure out. I think I kind of want. 知らない秘密落ちて落ちて落ちてもう戻らない海の泉でもきっとsomething like this, I think. It's not layering as much as I want it to. I need a different type of. 'The fuck is this one? What's this brush, man? Wait, why is there pressure on this brush? That's such a silly brush to have pressure on. 'Seamstress is not having a good day. Not at all. Not at all. Don't flip. Akaku, 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 揺れて夢の夢の果て出会ってしまった運命が言い出すでも知らない I don't know if I think there's too many. I think the particles need to be a bit bigger. I can up the particle size. Not that big. Let's try that. 風は過ぎ過ぎ沈んでゆくazumiの声が風に感じ同じ気を拾えないよとこ次に見ての顔を見せああやしもつで生活にThese settings aren't really doing anything. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out later. I've already said one more thing to too many things. It's fine. It's fine. We listen to the song. Yeah. Thank you guys for the stream. Let's see if there's anyone I can read. Reader dashboard, stream manager, raid channel. Thanks for the stream. Thank you for joining. Let's see. There's so many people to pick from. What the fuck? I'm trying to find someone whose art I feel like everyone would be interested in seeing. Oh, let's. Uh. No. Hold on. That person. No. That person. You know when you have all the choices in the world and they're all so good that you can't choose? That's how you ended with 5 streams in your ear. Exactly. I do that sometimes and I feel like I'm gonna burst, but also. Let's. There's a lot of non-English speaking ones. I'm like, oh, that's some good art, and then the title's not in English. I'm like, oh, well, we all speak English here, so that's no good. This person's drawing Fortnite Miku. Oh, they have 154 viewers. I'm too shy for that. The antisocial block. Let's. I'm just gonna have to pick one. Here we go. This art's good. Oh, wait, they've been going for 10 hours. I think. Are they still going? Uh, you know, let's just go. All right, everyone, thank you for the stream. It was shorter than I planned, but I'd say we got a decent amount done for the time we had. Oh, two. I'm just gonna press raid now since I already had plenty of time to say my pleasantries. We'll see each other, I think Friday for Tales of Berseria, and then Saturday for Elden Ring, and then next